Good morning, Quantum Marketing System members. We're going to do a Facebook Live for the first time, kind of in lieu of our last minute scheduling conflict issues that we had with our Mastermind Call members, or Mastermind Call guests. So I want to talk a little bit about marketing and actually using Facebook in particular in digital marketing, and some simple strategies that you can use to implement quickly in your business. So let's dive in. Some of you already are familiar with the fact that we have recently partnered with David McKnight to offer his workshop as part of one of our platforms to help you sell IUL. And he's the author of the book, The Power of Zero. So we're going to talk a little bit about how you can actually use somebody else's content to create your own original content, proprietary content. And actually, we have a few agents that are working on something just like this that we're going to be talking about here in just a moment. So if you haven't read the book, I highly recommend it, but you can use this with any book. So if you have any book that you're giving away or using as a prospecting tool with any of your prospects out there, go through that book and you can probably find yourself a couple of great topics. So this book is actually a 10-chapter. Let's see if I can get this set up right here. You can see that. So 10 different chapters here. One of the chapters, in fact, some of these are great headlines to start with, but one of the chapters is the tax sale of a lifetime. Well, that makes a great headline. And the format I want to give you is something very simple. So all of you own a smartphone, so you can actually record this with a smartphone or even a webcam like we're using here for the Facebook live stream. And take each chapter, break it down by really one or two things that you want to talk about. So these are fairly short chapters. I think most of these are about 10 pages or less. And what you would do is this first chapter is called A Gathering Storm, is talk a little bit about what your takeaways are, and what you got from the book, what it means to your prospects, and what they can do about it. So you cover three points, really. It can be a very short video. You can start making content then and creating a content library that you either give away for free or have as part of a firewall. So in this first chapter, let's take a quick look. The Gathering Storm, what the heck is that? Well, here he talks a little bit about the Social Security issue where, it's a projected 2 workers for every retiree, funding the Social Security system. It talks obviously about how the national debt is, kind of going into a disastrous upside down situation where there just won't be enough revenue. Shows the marginal tax rates that have been historically much higher than they are today, and what the impact of that is as debt grows. And so you can take a couple of those points, turn those into a short content video about what you think is important for people to know. And then on each video, at the end of it, you make a little call to action. You'd say, in fact, I recommend you do like a little 2-minute pitch for the whole tutorial. So this is 10 chapters. You'll say, hey, I have a 10-part series based on this book, The Power of Zero, which is all about how to get to the zero tax bracket and what it means to you. And you can get that free by clicking the link below or sending me an email or call my office. And at the end of each of the videos, once you give them access to the firewalled content, have a little pitch at the end and say, by the way, I know some of this stuff seems like it might be difficult to apply. It could be complicated. What I recommend, if you're interested in figuring out how to use this stuff in your own personal financial situation, is to schedule an appointment with my office. When you come in, we'll give you a free hard copy of the book and talk to you about what we can do to help you apply this in your own personal financial situation. All right, so Mr. Carrig, you don't like my glasses, huh? A little nerdy. I should probably put some tape on these, huh? Right in the middle. Anyways, so all we will do then is just repeat that formula by chapter. So then we go on to the next chapter, and the formula then is, let's just say the tax sale of a lifetime. That's an awesome, timely topic, because we have a window of opportunity with the Trump tax cuts before they expire, and we know when they're going to expire. So people are going to have a tax increase guaranteed, and it gives them a reason to take action now. If they understand the gathering storm, if they understand the tax sale of a lifetime, this is a powerful tool to help motivate clients to take action to implement some of this in their own personal financial life. But, again, read the chapter, come away with 3 takeaways, that are important to you, or 1 or 2 takeaways that are important to you, what it means to the consumer and what they can do about it. And then again, finish that chapter up with an offer to have an appointment in your office to learn more about how to apply this or to see how it would impact them personally. Offer a free copy of whatever book it is. It doesn't have to be Power of Zero. This just happens to be one we love and believe in and think, David is a great partner for us and for you. So we'll have probably in the next month or so here, we're going to have an announcement for the next boot camp dates here in Minneapolis. But this can be done with any book. So if you have some great financial books that you've read and that you like to hand out to your clients or recommend that they read, this formula is a great way for you to create original content that you can then give away to the consumer. It'll have high perceived value. It'll be proprietary. You don't want to read it verbatim. We don't want to steal any of the content because we don't want to plagiarize. You're making commentary about somebody else's content. So this is one of the easiest ways to create valuable content. Now, why would we do this? In marketing, we call this an info front. Dan Kennedy coined that term, but basically what we're doing is creating an information product of our own that we can then give away to a prospect. It's also free content that you can put out on the internet, but my suggestion is if you do put any of the content out, you pick 1 or 2 highlighted chapters that you think are really motivating, interesting content, and put those out without the firewall. And again, drive people back to getting the whole 10-part series. So you give away maybe 1 or 2 free videos out of 10, and then have people come back to sign up for the firewall content, which now has generated a lead for you. It gives you an opportunity to educate that consumer then about the important things that are in that book, which should lead them obviously to working with you as a client. And we're trying to just drive them to an appointment with the videos. So as you create each video has, the main points that we discussed earlier, coupled with an offer, which is always an offer to get a free consultation. I always recommend that you make the offer include a free copy of the book that you're talking about, and a mechanism of response. So call our office, click the link below, which maybe takes them to a form on your website where they can schedule an appointment. If you have a calendaring system, an automated calendaring system like I have, you could have them actually schedule the appointment right then and there. With a link at the bottom of your tutorial video. So in creating firewall content, let's just talk a little bit about the technology. There's a number of ways to do this. One of the easiest ways is to actually go to a website service called Weebly. They're a web hosting service and a drag and drop editor. So it's a very simple editor to use. You don't have to be super tech savvy to build a website. It's actually what the Quantum website is built on. So you can create a membership area in there with a free site from them. And you may call it something that's related to the book. So again, not to violate, any proprietary or copyrighted content. You might say, you might call your tutorial something like, how to use the power of zero to change your financial life or whatever, so you'll create a title for it that's maybe incorporating the title of the book, but isn't plagiarizing anything. And then you might have a URL that's somewhat related to that, but again, be careful not to plagiarize anything from the author of the book. And then we can build that content easily on a platform like Weebly, which you can literally get for free. You can buy a URL from GoDaddy or even from Weebly inside their system for $20 or so. And as you record these videos, you record the videos and put them up on your, you create a YouTube channel, which again is free. You upload that video and you can set it to what they call unlisted or even private. Unlisted basically means it's not searchable. The only way you can see it is if you have the link to the video. And from there, you take that video link and you load those into into your member area that's firewalled, where they have to have a password to access the content there. And this is exactly how we've done it on the Quantum tutorial. So if you want to, again, learn how to use content as a free giveaway to attract leads, this is much easier than trying to sell life insurance or annuities or financial planning, not only from a regulatory standpoint, because there's nothing that we have to worry about from a regulatory standpoint. We're giving away an information product. We could even sell this if you wanted to, but my suggestion is that you don't try to sell it. You just give it away for free. That's going to give us the most opt-ins and put people into that funnel where they're watching the content that you've created. And let's just say it's 10 chapters. You spend 5 minutes on each one. You know, you got a 50-minute tutorial that you're giving away, and people will find it valuable. And I'm guessing a lot of them are going to probably feel overwhelmed by all things financial, just because our world is really complicated. Anything obviously involving tax-free strategies and life insurance and repositioning your assets to get to a zero tax bracket, you probably want help with, just because that seems a little daunting to try to figure that out on your own. Not to mention, most people know nothing about life insurance, much less cash value life or IUL, max funded IUL. So, so the purpose of this little Facebook Live then was to get you guys motivated to at least take some steps to do this. We're going to probably do some more in-depth tutorials. In fact, I might even create a tutorial that goes even more in-depth, but I wanted to plant the idea, get the seed out there so that you guys can start working on it, because this is easy to do. You don't really have to create a whole lot of original content. We're borrowing somebody else's ideas and just making a commentary about what's valuable in those and how somebody might be able to apply that in their own life and what it means to them. And so pretty easy to create a bunch of 5-minute videos using that exact format. Make sure it has an offer in there. The offer needs to be probably a free book coupled with an offer to come into your office for an appointment. You may not want to call it an appointment. You can call it something else. One of the suggestions I've made recently is to call it something more engaging. So, you know, reframing the complimentary consultation into something that sounds more inviting. And that might be coffee with you, right? And, you know, schedule coffee in my office and we'll give you a free copy of the book and talk about your situation, how this stuff can work for you. That sounds a lot less intimidating than even a consultation or an appointment. It feels a lot more relaxed if you offer it up in a different way. So try to come up with something creative. One of the advisors I work with does a really cool thing in his marketing where he actually has essentially a food truck. He's a chef by training and a formal chef, a real chef. And he'll actually prepare a meal on location. So he'll go to, you know, he lives in Florida, so he'll go to a nice beachfront location, park the vehicle, pull out the little awning, set up a nice little table, start talking to the client and cook a meal for him. Well, obviously that's an innovative, unique way to do it. Creates a relaxed setting. You know, leverage innovative, creative thinking in how you create an experience for your clients. And one of the ways to do that is don't call your appointment an appointment. You know, come up with something more creative, and create your own original content based on other people's valuable content in the form of commentary, which doesn't have any issues in terms of, you know, copyright violation. So as long as you're not reading verbatim from this book, other than quoting it and attributing those quotes, you can do that. So just be aware that you can do that. It's easy to set this stuff up using Weebly. If this is something that you want more help with and sounds like this is an interesting concept for you to use in your marketing, which I firmly believe this is a much easier way for generating consumer leads. In fact, one of the guys I work with just posted his first video. It's kind of a little mini ad promoting his 10-part series. He's doing it exactly on what we just talked about today, using the Power of Zero book, and has hundreds of views already just today in the last 24 hours, I think. He's got tons of comments, many people that want to have access to it. That, you know, how do you get people to respond and say, hey, yeah, talk to me about life insurance? Well, by creating this kind of content, it creates an easy mechanism for you to bring up the topic, give something of value to the clients or prospects, and get them to want to engage with you. So the internet is such a powerful tool. I even recommend that you guys learn how to do Facebook Lives like this. These are fairly easy to do. You can do it with your smartphone. You don't have to have a webcam or a studio or anything fancy. We're just doing this in an empty office here at ECA, which is soon to become an actual broadcast studio. We're in the midst of building a real broadcast studio here. But just know that this is a great, powerful tool. Facebook, YouTube, you can also live stream on. Powerful tools to connect with your market. So you could do a live training on this too and say, hey, you know, I'm sitting in my office today with one of my clients who actually just went through the tutorial, and we're going to talk to you about what they got out of it and why they think it's valuable. So if you build the tutorial, then once you have a client that's gone through it, found it valuable, bring them in your office and get them to do a Facebook Live for you, which is almost like a testimonial on your Facebook stream. If you feel like you did something wrong on it and it wasn't perfect, don't worry about it. This media is well suited to authentic, real content because it is live. It's a live television broadcast from your desktop to your Facebook followers and your audience. So I'm glad a whole bunch of you joined. Anybody have any questions while we're here? I think you get the big idea. I've kind of laid it out, how simple it is, the technology we can use, what the format is. Like I said, we'll probably go into a more depth on this. Once you start posting some stuff, like for example, the post that the agent, Todd, he's on the call here today, used in his own marketing, you can actually pay, you know, 20, 30, 100 bucks, whatever, to boost that post to a targeted demographic in your market. And then that becomes an ad. So even though it's just you running a quick video from your smartphone or from your webcam as a Facebook Live or other recorded video content, if you boost that post, it's an easy, inexpensive way for any of you to use Facebook to advertise in your market area and give something of value away to folks. So if you have any questions or comments, go ahead and type those into the Facebook toolbar over on the side there. I know a bunch of you are logged in, but let's see what we have here. All right, I will keep the glasses. We'll keep the glasses here. They look crooked for some reason, but I guess maybe my ears are. All right. Who thinks this is something they can do? I guess that would be my first thing is, you know, do you feel like you have technical challenges in the way of making this happen? Because recording video content today is as easy as picking up your smartphone and running a little video off of your own little camera. The quality is good enough. You could record a live stream. You could do just a video recording and post it to a YouTube channel. So it's very, very simple, at least creating the content. The next step would be, you know, putting that into a firewalled situation so that you can give away the content. All right, no comments, guys. Who here thinks this might be easy to do, or who thinks this is too difficult to do? Who's not tech savvy enough to do it? I mean, you're all tech savvy enough to at least have tuned into a Facebook live stream. So to me, that's kind of powerful. You know, you already know enough to at least access this. So this is going to become more ubiquitous over time. And I think more and more of your clients who you are friended with on your business Facebook pages, and you should all have one. If you don't, be sure to set up a business Facebook page, but you certainly can do this to your personal Facebook page. Well, we're not getting any questions. So I'm assuming most of you think this is something that's easy to do. I hope you do, because I think it is. It does take a minimum amount of planning, but you don't even need to plan that much because, you know, the 10 chapters are already laid out for you, right? So what you're going to talk about is already built in here. That becomes your content. And I would do this with a number of different things. Find different areas of financial planning world that you feel like might be of interest to your market. If you don't know, use Facebook and actually create a poll. One of the cool things that you can do with your Facebook followers is post a poll and ask them, you know, which of these topics might be more of interest to you. Let them tell you what to create the content on. You could, you know, present 3 different topical books and say, you know, we're looking at creating some custom material around the concepts in this book. Which one would be most interesting to you? And then give them 3 or 4 books to choose from and let them answer in that poll which ones are most relevant to them. And then that's the tutorial to create. Well, unless you guys have any questions or other comments, I'm going to just probably leave it here. And good job, Todd, on getting yours going. Excited to see how it works going forward, but I definitely think you should consider boosting that post in your market. And for the rest of you who are still working on this, get off your behinds and put this in action, because this is not a hard strategy to do. Think of it this way. As I mentioned, which is harder to do? To talk to a new prospect and break the ice about life insurance, financial planning, estate planning, business planning, whatever that is, or create something of value that they're going to want that answers there's a solution to one of their big problems, which of course the Power of Zero is. This is saying, hey, if you continue to do what you've been doing right now, you've got a huge tax problem that you're facing in the future. And we have a way and a process to help you get out of the way of that freight train that's going to just sink a lot of people from a tax standpoint. And most advisors don't really even address the tax issues when they're building a financial planning model. Most of them are just building that around rate of return. So this gives you a different conversation, which is why we love that book and why we love David McKnight. So I would recommend many of you, do the exact same thing. Doesn't matter if you all have the same book and all have your own proprietary takeaways and commentary on it in your own private tutorials, but you guys could have this thing up and running in probably a week or two with just a little bit of time spent recording the videos on each chapter, posting those to your own Facebook page as unlisted videos, adding those videos to a Weebly platform that's got a membership area, and then offering that free content, which is much easier to get people to be attracted to than financial planning or life insurance. I can give you free content on a best-selling book like The Power of Zero and how to use it and what it means to you, and get all kinds of new prospects engaging with me, and then also be in the process of educating them. So the tutorial itself is helping sell them on doing business with you and driving them to that appointment. Hope this Facebook Live has been valuable. I'm going to wrap it up since it looks like we don't have any more questions or comments today. Would you guys want to see a more in-depth tutorial on this topic on how to do this? If so, just type in yes in the box over there. Maybe, no responses. You guys are quiet. All right. Well, we're thinking about it. I'm going to post a poll probably to the private Facebook group. There we go. We got one yes. Thank you, William. All right. So that's probably something to look forward to in the future. We're going to actually create a tutorial on how to build this InfoFront model of giving away free content using social media in a way that is low cost or even free to generate new prospects for you by giving away valuable free content that you've created that's proprietary based on somebody else's well-known best-selling book. All right. Thanks everyone for tuning in to the Facebook Live today, and keep an eye out. Maybe in the next month or two, we'll have this put together and teach you a little bit more step-by-step how to do this. And if you want to get on my calendar as well, this is something we can certainly talk a little bit more about, but it's more or less the model I just laid out for you. And don't overthink it. Don't make it too hard. It's really fairly easy to do. And don't worry about being perfect. None of this stuff has to be perfect. In fact, the more authentic and raw it is, the better, because polished content, I think, tends to turn people off if it's too scripted, too robotic. You'd rather have people making mistakes and doing it live. So, all right. Thanks, guys. And we'll be back on schedule with our mastermind call next month. The guests that we're supposed to be on today, we'll actually have them on next month. They've already confirmed. So they apologize for being unable to make it today. And we'll be back on track. Thanks. Talk to you soon.